Welcome to the You Empowered podcast with your host, Justine Jetty. If you want to unlock your potential and step into the most authentic, healthiest, and happiest version of you, then you're in the right place. Each week, we'll dive into practical, evidence-based strategies for your habits, mindset, and health so you can create a life and a body you love. Let's get into it. Hey, welcome back to the You Empowered podcast. Today we're going to be talking about GLP-1s, Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro. You've probably heard people talk about these drugs as the answer to stubborn weight gain, and you might be considering them, or you might already be on them. Or maybe you've just seen the hype and wondered what's real and what's just marketing. So this episode is here to give you a clear breakdown of what these drugs actually do, the risks, the benefits, and what no one's talking about when it comes to long-term health. So by the end of the episode, you're going to have a solid understanding and be able to make an informed decision on what's right for you. So let's start with what are GLP-1 medications. These drugs help regulate your blood sugar levels and appetite. They help you to feel fuller for longer, they slow digestion and gastric emptying, they reduce your cravings, and they improve and stabilize your blood sugar levels. Now this normally leads to a reduction in how much you eat, which naturally then leads to weight loss. But they do not burn fat and they do not boost your metabolism. And for a lot of women, they do really work, especially if your appetite and your food noise feels out of control. But this isn't the full picture. Here's what doesn't get talked about enough when it comes to GLP-1 medications. You will lose muscle mass unless you are actively working to prevent it. When you lose weight quickly, you are not just losing fat, you are losing muscle. We have solid research that shows why building and keeping muscle as we age is vital for our quality of life, autonomy, and longevity. And if you're a woman listening to this right now who's already in perimenopause or in midlife, your muscle is already declining thanks to the natural hormone deficiency that gets created in menopause. It's why women in menopause are at the greatest risk of osteoporosis. So building muscle is the only natural way to improve your metabolism, keep your bones strong, and have freedom in your body. It affects everything from how you age to how much energy you have. So women on GLP-1s who aren't eating enough protein or doing resistance training are setting themselves up for muscle loss. And once you lose that muscle, it's hard to get back. So if you're using these medications and you're not strength training yet, that needs to change now. Rebound weight gain is the second thing that doesn't get talked about enough when it comes to GLP-1 meds. So here's an uncomfortable truth for you. If you stop taking this medication and you haven't changed your behaviours, your habits, and your relationship with food, you will gain the weight back and fast. And in some cases, even more than you started with. This is because whilst GLP-1s can reduce your appetite, they can't teach you to have a healthier relationship with food and create better eating habits. They can't teach you how to create the necessary skills and habits that hold steady to confidently navigate life's changing seasons. They can't teach you to build and maintain muscle or create sustainable exercise habits. So as soon as you stop taking them, you're back to square one or worse. It's no different from a crash diet or any other quick fix in that sense. So if you're using it in that way, you'll end up with short-term results and long-term frustration. And speaking of quick fixes, let's talk about the rise of influencers selling these drugs on social media. There is a disturbing trend at the moment of influencers casually promoting and selling these GLP-1 medications. Now, this is extremely dangerous. First, because none of them are medically trained or medical professionals. And secondly, because they're not medically trained or they're not medical professionals, they're unable to do their due diligence and screen you to check for pre-existing conditions or give guidance on side effects or long-term use. They're selling an aesthetic and a quick fix. So if you're following anyone who is selling and pushing GLP-1s on TikTok or on Instagram who is clearly unqualified to do so, immediately unfollow them. Now, this brings me to my last point on what doesn't get talked about enough with GLP-1s. So what you probably don't know about this is your body already makes GLP-1 and you can support it naturally. So our gut already produces GLP-1, especially after we eat. There are ways we can support this natural process through how you eat and how you live. So we want to focus on eating slowly and being really mindful with our food. We want to get good quality sleep. We want to choose high protein, fiber-rich foods. And we want to move our body regularly, especially after meals. prioritizing protein and healthy fats in our diet as well. So all of this can help you and help your body regulate blood sugar, support fullness, and even improve your insulin sensitivity without drugs. So hopefully you can see that you've got more tools in your toolbox than only medication, and sustainable habits don't have side effects or a price tag. So what can you take away from this episode? GLP medications can absolutely be a helpful tool, especially for women who have significantly higher levels of food noise, constant food thoughts, strong cravings and hunger than the average person, even when they're eating well. But they are not a solution on their own. They don't build strength and improve your metabolism. They don't help you shift your long-term behaviors, which the research has shown is the main reason why weight regain happens when women come off this drug. So this is where structure, long-term habits, and potentially coaching comes in. So if you're already using GLP-1s or you're thinking about them, you need to also have a plan that includes resistance-based training, high protein and high fiber diet, gut health, and long-term behavior change. If you want to build a strong, healthy body that you feel comfortable in and keep the weight off for good, you need to build the skills and behaviors for that to happen. A prescription alone isn't going to do that for you. So use the meds if they make sense to you, but don't expect them to do the work on your behaviors, self-image, and relationship with food that only you can do. If you're not sure where to start with this, I have a free 2-minute diagnostic root cause assessment, which will help you to understand the bottlenecks in your health and fitness journey and how you can overcome them. You'll get a personalised report that will show you how. Click on the link in the show notes to take the assessment, and if this episode gave you clarity, share it with another woman who needs to hear it. Until next time, take care.